This is Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico, Hizon in Singapore. Our top stories. The U.S. Navy temporarily suspends operations worldwide after one of its destroyers collides with a tanker near Singapore. Spanish police say they've killed the main suspect in the Barcelona terror attack.
I'm Babita Sharma in London, also in the programme. Unveiling America's latest plan for its troops in Afghanistan. In a couple of hours' time, President Trump will announce his new strategy. And a magical moment, the first time in a century, Americans get to watch the total eclipse of the sun.
Live from our studios in Singapore and London. This is BBC World News. It's Newsday.
Glad you could join us. It's 7 in the morning here in Singapore, midnight in London, and 7 in the evening in Washington, D.C., where the U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis has confirmed a broad investigation will take place after a collision between a U.S. destroyer and oil tanker near Singapore. 10 American sailors are still missing, with a search and rescue operation currently ongoing. Well, the USS John S. McCain is the second U.S. Navy ship to be involved in a serious collision in as many months. Our Asia correspondent, Karishma Vaswani, has been to see the ship, which is now docked in Singapore. We're watching Newsday on the BBC, live from Singapore and London. Still to come on the program. A mystery at sea, the investigation into the disappearance of a woman who took a trip on a submarine and was never seen again.
Also on the programme for you. Hundreds of millions around the world watched it, did you? One of the greatest wonders of the universe, the total eclipse of the sun.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore.
Welcome back indeed. I'm Babita Sharma here in London. Our top stories for you. US Navy has temporarily suspended operations around the world after one of its destroyers collides with a tanker near Singapore.
Spanish police say they've killed the main suspect in the Barcelona terror attack. Let's now take a look at some of the front pages from around the world. And let's start off with the international edition of the New York Times. And it analyzes the U.S. decision to conduct joint military exercises with South Korea. Well, the paper says that a debate is currently building in the U.S. over a possible strike on North Korea. And the White House is indeed determined to leave the impression that the military option is real. The Philippine Daily Inquirer is dominated by a story on the dark side of President Duterte's drug war. Well, it claims that the autopsy of a teenage drug suspect shot by the police contradicts official accounts and shows that it is an extrajudicial killing. And finally, you have the Straits Times of Singapore reports on the collision of the U.S. Navy destroyer with an oil tanker in the region. A 250-strong Singaporean team has joined efforts to find 10 sailors who have gone missing after the incident. And those are the top stories of major publications around the world. And
Palab Ghosh, BBC News, Madras.
Incredible moment. Stay with us. Another edition of Newsday coming your way next. See you soon.